What's up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to the stream. Welcome back to another campaign session for Alandressa. Today we've got Mars, Tats, Katie, Shen, and B. How's everybody doing today?
Hey,
All right. Good, thanks.
Sweet.
I'm good. Hold on, I just got a raid. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello,
Hello.
Raid. Hello, Raid. You're very welcome.
Hello, Raid.
So
Welcome, Raiders.
we are not entirely sure whether Victor will be joining us, so we're going to be playing as Victor. I will be doing the honors. I've made sure to check with Steve what his priorities are for Victor in this session of ours coming up. But shall we have a little recap of what happened last time?
Yay.
A mysterious figure by the name of Ox spoke through some scrying sensors that appeared all the way throughout Alandressa. They particularly appeared in the city of Ironfront, what you know of anyway. You were all resting up in a tavern after having spent a week of downtime, during which point you had all leveled up to level 5. However, the new people that you were joining in with. Hello, welcome in. The new people that you had joined in with in that tavern, unfortunately, they were not 100% there for you. One guy was definitely out to make sure that the gods were aware of who you were and try and let them know exactly who you had been in that tavern that day. You, of course, did not take kindly to that, so you made your best efforts to leave and do your absolute best to find horses to escape with. After some unusual telepathy from Ruby, causing one god to fully decide to abandon the god post that he was at and take a full hour to doff all of his armor and continue on a life of worship, of whom we don't know. But we will follow his career with great interest. You all stole 3 horses and fucked off with them. Which came to an abrupt halt when Ash, aka our lovely Tats, who has just been raided, welcome again, raiders, decided to step out of wild shape and turn back into bird form. And we gave them a roll to see how well they could do with it. And unfortunately, Ash was not able to do it that well or that rapidly with the wings open wide. And instead of turning into bird form real quick, turned into bird form a little bit slow-like and ended up landing on top of the horse's head. The horses stopped and the rest of the group turned around, by which point you realized that you were being followed by a darkness, a silence, an absence of life, and a glowing handprint on Isabel's shoulder had become known to the rest of the party, and now you are aware that the holy man, the cardinal himself, is following you. And you are all still halted on this road. So, shall we continue with the session?
Yeah, let's go.
Good job, by the way, Steve, managing to get in when you don't have internet. That's fucking crazy.
I'm kind of on my phone. I'm on Discord on my phone, so you may have to just like roll dice for me and stuff.
I'll do it for you. That's fine. I can do it for you.
Also, if someone could pop me the link in Discord to Foundry, that'd be great because I don't have it on my tablet and I can't currently find it.
Let me get you
Sorry,
a fresh. I'll get you a fresh.
Thanks.
I am going to send it to you in a DM so that we're not putting it in the thing.
Cool.
Where are you? There you are. There you go.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. And I'll see if it'll run on my tablet, but I don't know how well it's going to work because I'm hotspotting onto my tablet and talking to you on my phone, so it might all be a bit of a mess. But
no problem whatsoever.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah. Thank you very much, by the way, Lex, for the custom magic item that you will now find in the BBEG. So, in your big bag of exquisite gifts, you will find that there is a new magical item by the name of the Cloak of Coziness. Once per long rest, you can use your bonus action to enter the cozy state, skipping your action on the next turn, but in return getting the effect of a short rest the turn after. That is something that one of our viewers has lovingly provided to all of you for 10,000 channel points. That is quite a big deal. So yeah, you see that into the big bag of exquisite gifts with a little tag attached to it that explains its use. It is there for you. What do you all want to do? You are in the middle of the Green Waste Forest. You're being chased by something otherworldly. And you know for sure that you will be killed if it gets to you. Welcome, Amara Red Fox. Thank you so much for following me. That's
I mean,
a
we
lovely
run,
thing
right?
for you to have done.
Run.
Yes, I think keep
You're
running.
very well.
I
I would
Where
say
are
I'd
you
lend a
going,
hand,
or?
but I'm already lending a hand. Wrongly.
Okie dokie. Would anybody care to give me a medicine check for the horses?
I'm not proficient in
Or
that.
medicine
I'll give it
or
a shot.
animal handling. Either would work.
Hold
Right.
on,
Perfect person to do a medicine check. And Ash, the perfect person to check an animal.
and I'm got proficient. I'm
Look
handling.
at these numbers. First rolls of the day. Oh my god.
These are
22,
some
26,
amazing-
25, 21, 17. All very good.
17.
Victor, would you care for me to roll for you, or are you able to do it yourself?
No, the touchscreen on my iPad isn't working very well with Foundry.
What would you care
So
for me to
I
roll?
can't
Animal
do anything.
handling or medicine? You have +1 to both.
I think I think it might be better to try and assist than me roll. Because just roll either. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I don't think. At
If
this
you
point.
get a 15 or higher, we can use it as an assist. So,
Sure.
should we see who's got the lowest? Ruby's done a sick backflip with a 17 acrobatics check. We've got 2 animals and 2 medicines. Should we go for animals? See if you can help out Aldrin
Yeah, that's fine.
with the 21. So we're
fine.
going to go for this. We got a 12, unfortunately. There is no advantage in that
Okay.
roll.
I'm
But with a
good at
25 and a 26, respectively, for animal handling and medicine, you can tell that these horses are just about exhausted. They've not been run this far and this hard for so long in quite a while. The nobles that owned them were clearly of a different breed than multiple people carrying a lot of armor, a lot of weapons, and a lot of druid on their backs. So these horses are probably not going to last for very much longer. You are headed east towards the Redwall Mountains. This is just the orientation that I've got you in, but this is essentially east as you go up the screen. We've just got this so that you've got somewhere to stand and look and be. Is there anywhere in particular that you are wanting to head? Are you looking towards forest, glades, swamps, the mountain itself? Somewhere to hide? What are you trying to do here?
I feel like hiding isn't going to work because he clearly knows somehow to find us. Right? So we need to head somewhere that it would be harder for him to follow us.
I say we just run.
Yeah, but the horse is on this gone.
Can I do a quick survival
Run
check?
on our feet.
Supposed to be.
Survival check to do what?
Find a place to rest.
I would argue, yeah, survival could work for that. Or perception, either way.
Do any of us know which way is which direction the closest city would be?
West, the one you just
Other
came
than
from.
the one we just came from, yeah. Other than that one.
There's I can share the map again for you. Let me just have a look myself. It is gonna be The hang on. The White Scar, which is south, or the Brand, which is in the mountains.
Okay. Okay.
So you either go through the mountains down the river to the White Scar, or you go further into the mountains to the Brand, but they are all multiple days riding. And you are on foot, essentially, if you leave the horses. Choices, choices, choices.
Gosh, dang it.
What does everybody else think?
While you're stood talking, you
Mm,
can
voting.
hear the silence getting deeper.
I think we should run.
Can
Let's just keep
Whether
moving.
it's
How
on
quick
foot
is
or
that?
with the horses or leave the horses, we need to go.
I think
think
we
we-
stay on the horses until the horses can't go anymore. If everybody is okay with that.
Is
I-
is
Is that-
Ash going to be
that's a-
going into wild shape again, or are you going to be turning like just
Oh,
flying up?
I gotta turn back into, my
Mouse with
little
waistcoat.
mouse form. Yeah.
All right. So Ash becomes Mouse in waistcoat. Tucks back into
Mouse coat.
Victor's coat. Okay. Is there who's going on what horses? Let's just make sure that we've got you all grouped right. So we've got Ash with Victor. Who else was on Victor's horse? Because I know that Ruby was going with
I think it
Leopold.
was Isabel.
So
Oh, I
Isabel
think I
was
was with
going.
Aldrin, actually.
You were
I
with
thought it was-
Eldrin. So then
I think
so.
that leaves
Oh, I
Briar
thought it was
with
Briar.
Oh, it's Briar. It was
Briar
Briar,
with
sorry.
Victor and so that's Briar
Mm.
with Victor and let me just put you all together. Briar with Victor and Ash, and then Leopold with Ruby. Okay.
Okay.
So you're all headed east. You keep feeling the thunder of the ground break, and it feels soft. It becomes harder. It becomes brittle and dusty, and this becomes something very familiar to Ruby in particular. Ruby, you have spent so much of your life in this particular mountain itself, being raised and taught by Crimson and her assistant Berg, and trying to help bring in money and food and rations and try to help train the other people alongside you. Is there anything that Ruby would be looking out for on this trail at all? Or are you just headed straight forwards and don't really care which way you go?
I think in terms of direction, I think that's partly party led rather than Ruby led because she realizes she's kind of fucked everyone over. But on the trail itself, she'd maybe be keeping an eye out for if she recognizes that one of the dairy crew has been through, whether that's a particular path that they commonly use that she keeps an eye out and see if there's any movement or something like that. So movement of the dairy crew.
Movement of the dairy crew. Okay. I would like Ruby to give me a navigation check, and we're going to do this with luck. So pick odds or evens, and then roll a flat d20, please. Tell me what you're rolling first. Odds or evens?
Okay, I'll pick odds.
Odds, okay. Then roll me a flat d20, please. 15. That is good. You find your way closer to the dairy area that you felt that you might have found otherwise. Instead of heading on the wrong turn in the road, you're able to mention to everybody, oh no, it's this way. And you realize that there has been a lot of... it seems like the weather has not been kind over the last couple of weeks, turning more into wintertime and towards, autumn in particular. The tree fall, the branches fall, the fruits fall, the animals shift, the trails and natural sort of, ley lines that follow along the contours of the mountain have shifted with the rains, and you can recognize the deeper furrows that you would have seen in rock form. This is all mud that is sort of shifting over the top of it and obscuring which way you would have gone otherwise. So you have managed to avoid one route in particular. And the way that you end up going is towards a different scene. we head towards a scene of abandonment, unfortunately. We head towards a scene of the horses giving out. You feel them drop beneath your feet as you get towards an area of darkness in the land itself. It is a mountainous region, but it is full of just swampy water that has soaked up all of the dirt and dust from the mountain desert that during the hot season would not have been here. And in all of the furrows here, you feel that there's just a dankness in the air. The area around you, you can tell, there's no sound of life, there's no movement of anybody that you can tell, but there are 3 buildings here. The horses have long since dropped hours before, and now that the hours have passed, it's starting to become dark. You feel, especially as Isabel looks towards the handprint on the chest, that the glow has dimmed significantly, but is still glowing noticeably.
We need to rest, really, don't we?
Onion! Onion
Just
with the
going up.
raid! Thank you, Onion! You crazy, crazy, crazy
Is it
Onion.
going dark, or
There's
is it
buildings ahead. Maybe we can
always
use one
dark?
of
Thank
them.
you for coming in with the raid. Welcome in, welcome in. So,
Investigating?
what are you investigating in particular? Ooh, Russell.
The buildings, I guess.
Yeah.
What
I
are
feel
you,
like it.
right,
I
but
don't
what
know.
what are you in particular investigating the buildings about? There's not just you do an investigation for everything that there is to know about it.
To
What in
see if
particular are
there's-
you looking for?
To see if there's anybody about.
Yeah, I would like to check for probably to see if anything's like booby trapped or any nonsense like that. if I know.
Ah, Victor's looking for traps and Isabel's looking for people. Okay. Well, I would say that Victor, you give me an investigation check for traps. Isabel could give me a perception check for people.
Ooh,
Is it possible
you
for
could-
Dirty 20.
If you could roll that for me, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, sure. Forgot about
Please.
that.
Thank you. No, that's okay.
Investigation 29. Holy, whew.
So
Okay.
you can roll for everything for me now, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. I mean, I did roll a 12 for you earlier, so it balances out,
That's
doesn't it?
fine. That's fine.
So you don't see any sign of any traps. No tripwires, no pressure plates, no poison mists, no darts will come out at you in this area. For
Okay,
what you
cool.
can see from here at the very least. As far as Isabel's perception with a dirty 20, you still have no sign of any living being around you. No, there's cacti, there is dank water, but it's not like, you know, year-round lake water, so there's no fish there to speak of. There is no like pond life. It just feels like this is an empty, arid place that has been rained on. The doors are not locked. And you may just step inside if you wish.
Is Ruby able to do a history check based on
Is
the
Ruby
knowledge
able
of
to what, sorry?
region?
you're breaking up a bit.
History check based on the knowledge of the region.
Yes,
Okay,
your
you're-
microphone is breaking up incredibly badly, but I'm guessing
think it
that's a
was a
history
history
check on the region. So yes, please roll me a history check on the region, and we'll try and figure out these technical difficulties as we go by. A nat 1 on a history check. Ruby has not been here before, has no knowledge of this area, no clue whatsoever. Aldrin with a history check. Aldrin with a history check of 21. You know that you haven't been here either.
Nope. Don't know where I am.
Well, I mean, I don't know if a nature check would do anything if I've
I think
maybe
I may
heard
as well.
Well,
anybody like
so
talk
in-
about this area.
In Critters, we discussed this about how, like, some people have different interpretations of each skill, right? Can you have Leopold back? Well, of course.
Give me back my cat.
So, yeah, yes, your cat can be back. So, yeah, we talked about this in Critters, that different DMs have different interpretations of each ability check, right? Because on paper, a nature check is a history check about nature. But it's like, okay, but in what situations is that actually going to be relevant and useful? Because finding out the history of nature doesn't really pertain to many things, which is why I try to refocus that and survival into their own separate camps. And hence why you might find on paper that they mean one thing and I say that they mean something else. Because I'm trying to make them both useful and not just one of them. So as far as a nature check is concerned, you would know about natural landscape, you would know about animal life, you would know about the uses of the things around you. Survival would be the practical applications of those. So that's how I interpret those. So now that we've covered that, Ash, would you still like to do a nature check or would you rather do a survival?
I'd rather do survival.
Then please give me a survival check and tell me what you're trying to do.
I don't remember because I failed horribly.
What were you trying to do?
I was just trying to see if I could like find any tracks of anybody that could have been there, anything like
Okay.
that.
Straightforward answer, no.
Yeah, I saw that I failed that.
Yeah. So Isabel and Aldrin step inside of this hovel. It is a single room. There is a broken bed frame with an empty flat mattress spring, thing. It looks like maybe at one point somebody well-to-do lived here, but they have gone. They're not here anymore. You don't know what happened to them just by looking. You can't really see any storage chests or any clothes around. You also can't see the tracks of anybody that's been here in a while. There are still broken things in and around, the ephemera of life, but nothing in particular that you could call significant. Would anybody else like to go elsewhere? Victor, would you want to move up?
Yes, please.
I'm assuming you wanted to go to where you pinged. Anywhere in particular beyond this?
I'm thinking, because we're being followed, I'm going to try and hide while the guys go inside to scope the place out, to watch for anybody followed, basically.
Are we going for a classic hide in the water up to your eyeballs hide? Or are we going for a hide behind a building or hide in one of the other two buildings?
I think there's... I think maybe... Actually, I'll go inside, but I'm gonna... I'm assuming there's windows.
If anyone should keep watching,
to this building, there are windows, yes.
Cool. Then I'm gonna essentially be peering through the curtains to watch for anyone following us down the path.
Okie dokie.
I think that makes more sense because then
watchful
I'm inside and I'm a little
eyes.
safer. Yeah, so I'm not necessarily ransacking the place. I'm keeping watch at the window.
There is one window and it is next to the double doors on this side of the building.
Okay, cool.
Apart from this, there are windows on all other sides, but you can't really see anything from this way apart from through this one window.
Sure.
Also, hiding in here would make it a group stealth check. You would have advantage on your roll, but they would not have disadvantage against the whole group.
Okay.
Given your magical item. What is everybody else doing?
I actually would, if we're going to rest here, I would actually want to take the first watch and stay outside, given that I'm probably the one being tracked.
Are we going for long rest at this point then?
Yeah, a long rest sounds good, so I can load up my ring.
Okay. It's a good job that you mentioned that. So,
Ruby,
what in particular
just before...
are you... Yeah, go for it.
It's getting
Ruby's
dark.
what?
Sorry, I thought I was interrupting Ash. Ruby would like to check in Leopold, but then go and check on the horses outside and try and put them in a more secluded area. Somewhere
we can do that retroactively.
safer environmentally for them.
Yeah, we can do that retroactively. They were abandoned on
Sorry,
the
I
road a
had to
couple
be
of hours
AFK.
ago. Yeah. So they were abandoned on the road a couple of hours ago.
Oh, if they've been abandoned on the road a couple of hours ago, then they're abandoned on the road a couple of hours ago. That's fine.
Okay.
I won't.
Well,
I thought they were
was
with us,
I
that's
was
my
willing
mistake.
to go through that whole process and be like, well, yeah, no, you can go. We can talk about what you would have done in the moment, but it's up to you what you think you would have done in a hurry.
No. Oh, it's what's happened. Ruby probably would feel guilty dumping them, but
Yeah.
yeah, if we were walking for 2 hours, potentially would have brought them with us, leading them, and then took them in a secluded area.
Right.
I guess
Okay.
outside near the place.
Fair enough. Then in that case, you find yourselves in this shack for the evening. Isabel is taking first watch. Is anybody here taking a stealth check?
I think I may join Isabel on first watch because I'm not as hurt as anybody else or any
Aldrin will
tapped out
take
on spells.
second.
So Aldrin's on second watch. Victor and Isabel are on first.
Yeah, I think we'll stealth like hide.
Okay.
Do you happen to
Are
have
you
dark
hiding
vision?
inside,
Because
looking out through the window, or are you staying out there?
I think outside this time, just so we're a little more kind of immediately outside.
Okie dokie. And who else is going to be going with Victor and Isabel on the first watch?
I mean, no. Okay, go ahead. I don't see very well in the dark. I don't think.
I
I
don't
think
see it.
everybody else is fine to rest
I-
if they
I
would
have
like
dark vision I can share with everybody too, as of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruby can take a later watch, a later night watch or something.
Okay.
Briar, didn't you have a? How long is your spell that gives people like super dark
I
vision?
think I can't pop it out for some reason. But it's I believe it's for an hour and it gives up to 600.
Oh, okay. I thought it was longer than an hour. It's not going to cover us for 8.
I have to double check that.
It also says on your
Um,
thing that you have already used it.
That might have been from last time. It just never unchecked. I don't know. I haven't used it since we've taken the last long rest.
Right. Okay. Well, I trust you on that one, and I'll give it to you back. But yeah, that's back there then. But we'll need to remember to keep pressing that button then. So we've got Briar, Victor, and Isabel on first watch. It is night time. And as you will notice in your surroundings on the screen, in the game and in this world, you are also in pitch black darkness. There are no torches here. There are no candles to light. There is nothing around here to make any kind of light for you to see with, or to cook with, or to warm yourselves with. You have only what you have on your persons. And of course, you do have this new lovely cloak of coziness, which is a very lovely cozy cloak for anybody who wanted to wear it. But and that is just a free magic item that's in the bag for anyone that wants it. But yeah, you've got this this time to do whatever you would for that 1 hour. Is there anything in particular that the people who are awake would like to do for that 1 hour? So, Briar, Victor, or Isabel, is there anything that you're going to be doing now for the hour that these guys that are about to sleep are awake?
I have a torch that can help.
You want to light the torch?
I would just be looking out for anything like suspicious or any movement or noise that indicates that, the thing that was calling us is not.
So
anymore.
Briar's just, your priority is don't let your guard down, keep a watch on the road. Don't be doing other stuff. Okay, I get you.
So I just looked and it said that my wild shape like changes after 2 hours. So I could be asleep and then just turn back into a bird.
Yeah.
Hmm?
So you
I didn't
could
realize
fall
you'd gone
asleep
to
as
sleep
a mouse. But the fact is that you have been, as I narrated, you had been on the road for hours after I'd just, after that first map that you were in. So you would have already turned back into Ash on that time. Like during the walk, you would have turned back into the bird. So you're already as a bird now. Okay, so we've got Briar is taking careful watch. Victor?
I think as the other two I assume have kind of got their eyes on the road. I think I'm gonna like sneak around the back of the house and just keep watch that everything's safe kind of around that area.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'm gonna basically do laps of the building if I'm able to. Like I
Oh,
don't know
like
what
a
the
guard
what the
watch?
terrain's like. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Cool.
But I have dark vision, so I should be good unless it's magical darkness, and
Mm-hmm.
which I don't. Which I
Cool,
don't
cool,
know.
cool.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay,
assuming
so
it's just
you're just going to
regular
keep a
old
patrol
dark.
going.
Yeah, essentially, but like
Great.
sneakily. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to. If there is anything around there, then I wouldn't get seen by it. It is very much like being quiet.
And then Isabel wanted to light that torch.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So we have a torch that will say gets you, what, 10 feet radius of light, but can be seen from further away. So you've now got that light source. The rest of you can do your perception checks with advantage in the immediate vicinity, but all of you will do stealth checks with disadvantage for the sake of a light in the open.
Can I move with the torch?
You can move with the torch, yeah. We'll just move it with you, yeah. All right.
I can't move the light.
No, I move it for you. It's a DM thing.
Yeah, I want to give them an advantage because I still think that I'm the one that can be tracked. So.
Okay, so are you separating from the other group to do your own stealthing alone?
Mhm.
All right. Where in particular are you heading off to? Because you're not really separated by just 20 feet.
Well, I'm patrolling, so I think I'd probably be.
Yeah, because
kind
it's.
of in
But the point I'm
varying
making is that
distances, yeah.
you're stood
Can I go
5
over
feet
here?
away from a building. I think it's quite clear to anyone that comes up that you are in that
Okay,
building.
I've got an
Do you
idea.
get what I mean?
Can I go over here? It's like a
Yeah.
little peninsula thing.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, marginally. I guess they would just make an insight check when they saw you. So let's see what we can do with this then. So you have you've separated from the rest of the group. Let's go group stealth check between Briar and Victor. Pardon me. Victor, you do get advantage on your stealth checks. Briar got a 3 and Victor got a 26. So I guess we'll just take the half of that, which would be, what's the difference there? It's 23 difference. So half that is 11, 14. So 14's about middle range there. 14, 15 is about half of, about average of those two. So relatively okay. Isabel, would you care to make a stealth check with disadvantage?
Sure.
A 12.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad considering disadvantage.
Not bad at all. Okay. Now, we go to the people on the inside then. These 3 people who are resting now. I think let's first explore what Ruby wanted to do with Leopold. You wanted to make sure that Leopold was doing okay. So, should we say that that's what you're doing during your hour of downtime for the long rest? Or is there something that you want to do with that time otherwise?
First 15 minutes, check in with Leopold, check how he's doing. Essentially took him in, make sure he rests properly, so he probably hasn't for a very long time. And then spend the next time in a bit of a more meditative state, thinking, basically speaking out or giving thanks to their patrons for helping find their friend, their new friends being so kind to them, and just practicing gratefulness.
Practicing gratefulness. I like that. Ash, what are you doing for your hour of downtime as part of this long rest?
I am. Let me see if I can't attune better to my gem that I have in my armor to try to make it a little bit better.
What gem is that?
My focus.
Oh, like to try and improve your druidic focus?
Yeah, just to see if it works or not.
It does work, otherwise you wouldn't be able to cast any druidic magic.
All right, what would I need to roll for?
I mean, it would be a long project. You wouldn't be able to do it in a single hour.
No, I know that.
Yeah, it's like a wizard can use a focus to cast spells without the use of material components. It's that kind of a deal, where like you are able to focus the druidic magic of nature through this focus, and that's how you're able to cast spells. There's no like improvement that it makes to your spell casting unless you like take a long time about improving it. So what in particular about it are you trying to find an improvement for?
I just want to see if. Gosh, I don't know. You put me on the spot. I don't know. I've never played a druid, so I'm trying to figure this out.
I mean, I fully get, that I want to be better, but it's like, okay, but there's a lot of facets to this game. What part of better do you mean? I can't just make everybody suddenly good.
No. I know. I guess maybe attune more to nature.
No one's explicitly said that yet, Lex. No.
Like,
So to
see
attune
if
more to
I
nature.
can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I guess yeah. You can make a religion check.
All right, let me do that.
Okay. What do you think that your hour spent with the gem looks like?
I just kind of be like sitting off in the corner,
Yeah.
sitting cross-legged, like we call it Indian style here, but that's very not good. So cross-legged.
Yeah. That's very not good. Okay, so you're sitting cross-legged, and you
And
are
kind of like
focusing
go
on this
into
thing.
like yeah, like into a meditative state where
Okay, love that.
I don't know if I would like hover or anything because that technically like takes my wings and I would just be too focused on it.
You'd be flapping around a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not very good.
Okay.
So I would just be super focused in there, and if there was any energy like flowing out from me, it'd maybe be like a greenish, like a turquoise color.
Mm-hmm.
As I
Okay.
just sit there and it like emanates from me as I'm focusing.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
There is something about the land that does not want to attune to nature. And as your druidic magic reaches out to this tether to the earth, it doesn't feel like it's explicitly dangerous to you in this moment, but it does feel like it does not want to connect with you. And in that moment, it almost wanted to lash out and tell you to back off. But right now, your improvement focus on your druidic gem makes no real headway. A 9 is not going to do it, unfortunately, and a 21 was enough to not subdue to whatever this force was. Aldrin, is there anything in particular you're doing for your hour of downtime before sleep? Or, well, meditation? You'd have like 4 hours of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they need 4 hours to meditate to get the full rest.
So what would you do for 4
Also,
hours
pardon
then?
if I hiccup. I've had brutal hiccups for the last 20 minutes and it's been bad.
I've had
I'm trying
acid
to not
reflux, and I honestly, it's been the worst. Okay, so what are you going to be doing for your 4 hours then? You got 4 hours of downtime.
Yeah, Aldrin needs to go into a meditative state.
Mm-hmm.
So while meditating, probably doing something similar to what Ash is doing. Just trying to keep in tune with all of these items that they've come across, sort of just checking in on the connections with them.
Yeah.
Not so much strengthening them, but just going over them, coming to understand them
Okay.
as they are.
Any in particular that you're focused on in this moment, or just a general look at all of them?
Sorry, I'm looking at my items right now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably looking at the connection with the illusionist bracers a little bit more, because I think those were the most recent.
Yeah.
So they would probably be the least attuned.
Okay. I see what you mean about attunement and, just general sort of focus with it. You are technically attuned to them, but I can see what you're getting at. Give me an Arcana check to see how well you can feel yourself bound to these things.
180.
With a
There
dirty
you go.
21, over the course of 4 hours, you focus on these illusionist bracers, and you don't really feel like there is any kind of sentience to these things, but you do feel like there is a power inside of it that has a force all of its own, that feels like, there's something in this that you might be able to do similar to Ash over a long period of time with lots of time and focus on downtime. You might be able to improve these with your with your time and abilities channeled into this thing, but it does mean that it takes all of your focus during those 4 hours, so it's not like you can be keeping a watch and also focused on these braces, so it's kind of a one or the other situation. But
I think during these 4 hours they're kind of not able to pay attention to the outside anyway.
Okay.
Is sort of how it seemed when I was reading it.
Yeah.
But then
your
after
meditation
4 hours,
you can't.
they're
No.
fully awake and ready to go.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Is
it's
that
like
the 4 hours that you are awake and ready to go? That's the point that I'm making. Is that during your
gotcha.
meditation, yes, during your meditation, no, you can't focus on the braces. When you're awake, yes, you can. But that is
Gotcha.
like periods of downtime, which is like you're not resting asleep, but you are resting.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay. So instead of like
so
taking
instead of
second watch,
exactly
they would have to attend
precisely
to it. Makes sense.
but
Gotcha.
but your 4-hour share of this 8-hour sleep is half of the time that the rest of them are going to be sleeping anyway, because they're all going to be down for 8 hours but only taking an hour to actually focus on something. You're getting 4 hours to focus on it because you're a half elf and you can do that. You only need to meditate for 4 hours and you're good.
Yeah.
You're cushy. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the point I'm making. It's just that when you do that while you're awake, then you can't focus on anything else but that, because it takes a lot of time and energy to focus on the mana and the mind and the soul and how it all connects together through the weave of magic in the world around you. And that is an important thing, and so it's a hard thing to focus on with, while you're keeping your third eye watched on some dude outside that might stab you,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this night, when, the outside guys come in, Aldrin's gonna go outside and start taking watch the way they were. So
Right.
we're probably
So
not gonna work on
you're
those
gonna swap
bracers
over,
further.
basically.
We're gonna swap out,
So you're gonna swap out
guard
when the
watch.
rest of them swap out with you.
Yes.
That's fair.
When,
That's fair.
yeah.
Okay. So we will do one thing first, and that is perception checks. So Isabel, Briar, Victor, perception checks, please. I will do yours for you, Victor. You got a 5. Are you sure you want me to roll in these for you?
That's fine. It's not something I'm good at anyway, really, to be honest.
You got a nat 1 because I rolled it, so there you go.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, Briar got a 26. Briar, you are very aware that there is nobody approaching you from the front. Victor, who has been doing the rounds, doesn't see anybody behind. Isabel off to one side, you don't see anybody either. Even with your ability here with the torch. In fact, we said that you were going to get advantage on a perception check with the torch. You're the only one that does. So give me a normal flat perception check once more, and we'll take the higher one. A dirty 20. So you can confirm exactly what Briar found as well. There's no threats approaching you from the front, and Victor has been going around all the way and hasn't seen anything in the other sides.
How's my hand signal thing going?
You want
Is
to
it
take a look at it
still-
now?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Just to
feel
check it.
it feels cold to the touch. When you look at it, it does sort of glow in the dim light. You can't really tell very well because it's dark and you've got a torch, so to see how much it's glowing is kind of hard when you've got a lit torch right next to it. But you certainly can tell that there is a coloration there that is shifting and changing, even without the glow alongside of it. It does look like there is something there. But how much it has
Joy.
changed, it's hard to tell until you're back in daylight again. Now, we go back inside of the cabin. We return to Leopold, who has been tucked in. We return to Ruby, Aldrin, and Ash. Each of you now are in your sleep or meditative states, and you are each shifting your minds to other worlds, other realms, other lives, other thoughts, other places. Ash, what do you think you would be dreaming about?
I'd probably be dreaming about my home and trying to get back there and make sure nobody's destroying it like they were trying to, and just also my friends would be there. I don't know if my friend would be there, but my friends would be there.
Aldrin, what do you think you would be meditating on? What would be your focus during this meditation?
During this meditation, focusing on, trying to think of a way to outrun this holy man that's after us. Clearly, we've pissed him off, even though Aldrin didn't want to mess with him in the first place. So they're just trying to think, okay, how do we get out of this? What do we do to keep moving? Because this seems like very different type of swamp to where they're usually
Yeah.
to what they're used to, rather. So kind of contemplating terrain and how to move forward as they're meditating.
Cool. And Ruby, what do you think you're focused on during your dream state?
I think given that she was meditating on gratefulness to her patron, I imagine probably thinking about finding Leopold and protecting him, but also really wanting to protect her new friends, who she feels she keeps putting in danger.
Okay. You each slip into this mindfulness. Whether it takes you into dreams or it takes you into meditation is individual to the person, of course. As your minds shift to thoughts of friends, thoughts of landscape, thoughts of oncoming threats, you each rest down and feel yourselves slip into relatively peaceful sleep. You are, of course, worried about this thing that's trying to chase you and find you, but there are other things at hand that you're also focused on, and so your minds don't really sharpen on one particular thing. Until Aldrin, you feel your mind sharpen on one thing and one thing very particular. You feel that there is something in the darkness next to you.
Hello? Do you
Hello
like
there.
frogs?
I'm a big fan of frogs.
Oh, me too.
I'm
That's
an
nice.
enormous fan of dragons as well. I think that dragons get a bad rap.
No, I don't know if I've met a full dragon, really. I am part of a dragon, though.
And I can see that part of you. It's a beautiful part. It really
Oh,
shines,
thanks.
especially when you take down people and, well, doors in the floor. I'm very
Melting
proud
things
of you.
works. So we could have found that key.
Are the people of your home proud of you?
Oh, I wouldn't know, really. Maybe one.
Are they your friend?
Definitely not another.
Is that a friend of yours?
But the one who is, yeah. I would think. I hope. I
It's
think
good
she's
to
a
have
friend.
friends, isn't it?
I suppose. They're handy.
You're surrounded
And
by
kinda
friends right
nice.
here, aren't you? They seem like very
Oh,
good
yeah.
people to you.
New friends.
Of
It's
course.
still new.
Oh, of course. Do
Do
you
you
think
have
that
friends?
perhaps we could be friends? I'm actually a mutual friend of one of yours.
I don't suppose why not. You don't seem very not nice.
I try to be nice to everybody that I speak to. I've got to ask you though, friends do nice things for each other. I would like to do something nice for you to celebrate our friendship. Is
Oh,
there anything in particular that you're lacking or you might want to know? Perhaps I could help you to find something.
finding something, lacking something. Well, there's a whole lot of things that we don't quite have right now, you know? But really, it's distance from that bird fella that we need.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's
Well,
kind of hot on our tails. And I don't even have a tail.
give me an insight check.
Alrighty. Hey, let's go. A dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. Well, I wouldn't know anything about him.
No?
There
Oh,
seems to be a hint of something in their voice that didn't ring
are you
true with that.
sure? You know,
Well,
I could tell you a little more about him. Maybe it would jog your memory a little bit more.
would you
Because maybe you
mind?
know him. A lot of people seem to know him.
You know, I might actually know him. You're probably right. I know a lot of people. I'm friends with many people in the world. It would probably be a big benefit to me if you could maybe describe him. That's
Oh,
okay.
well, you know, not to be rude or nothing, but he was a little spooky looking. Because he's going
Really?
around and dragging this sword and stabbing it into dead people.
Is that
And,
right?
and yeah, you know, because that was a little unsettling, and that's why, you know, a couple of things happened, and
I
he kind of
wonder
got
what would
hit.
bring a person to do such a thing. To stab people.
Well, I am not entirely sure what was happening, but it
Were the
seemed like
people
he was
alive
cleaning
or
up or
dead?
something, so I felt like we should just leave him to his business to clean up a mess.
Might I ask, were the people he was stabbing alive or dead?
I think they were dead. I sure looked
Oh,
it.
so then he's probably just cleaning up, I would think.
That's what I thought.
Well, it was good to talk to you. I know what you might want, and it seems like we're friends now. So,
Sure.
I will come and speak to you again soon.
Nice to
I'll
meet you.
I'll leave you for now. Thank you so much.
Hey, ta-ta.
You shift back into your meditative state, and we see trees, we see ruin, we see friends screaming, we see Ash's dreams. Ash, you dream of. I mean, can we really call it a dream? Or is it a nightmare? The
Oh,
trees are
no.
being torn from the ground, the earth is churned, the snow falls, or is it ash? Ash of a different kind. You hear the screams of friends, and you hear another kind of friend, too. Hello there, Ash. I gather
Oh.
you're a little bit perturbed about something.
Well, yeah, I mean, this isn't what I signed up for. I just wanted my home fixed. Now I have friends and I have an obligation to them, and it's
You
a
say
lot to take in.
friends? You say friends, and you feel this dark figure sit down next to you on the floor and put a cold arm around your shoulder. I understand. You need more friends, really, don't you? There's a lacking here. You're worried. You'll lose the friends in your forest and you'll need more to fill their space. Or is it the forest that you're caring about? The trees? You care about land?
Well, the land is alive too.
Aye, but land grows back. The tree falls for the seed to bring itself up in its place. Wildfires exist in the world without man to do it. These things all happened before man was around, you know.
Well, I mean, but the animals are alive too, and they're part of the land.
But there's a circle of life even there. The predator attacks the prey. The prey becomes the poop, if you will, going into the soil, nurturing the grass that then feeds the next prey. It's all a circle of life, and nature destroys itself constantly and forever. It's a part of normal circle of divinity, if you will. What once was prey will become the predator once again. Perhaps I could help you in that. Seems like you're feeling a little bit preyed upon right now. Anything I might be able to help you with?
Why are you so offering with help when you don't
I'm
really
just
know
trying
me?
to be a friend of yours. I like to make friends. I'm a friendly person. I like to give people favours too. I'm a friend of one of yours as well. Of a friend, should we say. There's nothing stopping us from being friends right now. Maybe just a little standing on ceremony. Let's not let a little bit of unfamiliarity stop us from being good pals here.
Are you also friends with Daitsu?
Of course I'm friends with Daitsu. Daitsu Moss. Oh yes. Daitsu is a good friend. You may give me an insight check into that if you will.
Yeah,
Up to you if you
I
want
feel
to.
like I need to. Oh, dirty 20. No,
No, a dirty 23.
okay, sorry, it didn't update yet. It was on veterans.
They say,
I think that
well, Daitsu had something that I wished for, and I had something that they did, and we traded. You can tell that there's something more to this that they're not giving you right now.
yeah, I know. They're not going to be very forthcoming with their information because they want me to side with them, and I don't know if I should, and I am at a crossroads here.
Look, I know that you're in a bit of a pinch right now. I was just speaking to one of your other friends that happened to mention that there was a person or thing that's chasing you, that was stabbing at dead bodies. Seems like a creepy thing to do to me. I mean, I could probably help you with that. But let's say that we are friends and then I can properly offer you the assistance that you might want. What do you say?
Last time we talked, you said you wanted to be friends with me, but not my friends. So does that mean you want to be friends with all of us now?
I'm starting to believe that I should, honestly. You know, when you're a little bit uncertain of something. Let's say you go to a tavern and you ask the menu, And there's one thing on that menu that just peeks out at you. Just seems like it's delectable, irresistible, and you want it. You can't afford it. So you do your best, and you finally get what you want. And when you do, it just opens up all of the floodgates inside of you to make you want more and more. That's when you can't help yourself. Perhaps food was probably not something that you would find settling, but I thought perhaps in your own language that a nice tidy snack at the end of a day is exactly what a friend would feel like. A warmth inside, something that fills you up, something sweet and memorable, something that you long for. That's exactly what I think of when I see food. That's exactly what I think of when I see friends. You seem like a good friend to me. Do I seem like a good friend to you?
So far, yes.
Well then, let's just make a pact of it, should we? I'll shake your hand, and you'll shake mine, and I'll help you out of this little spot of bother with this pesky old bird. Don't mean to offend, but some of your kind might not be so good. You seem like a very nice person, though. You feel that something to your side has reached out. Something for you to shake.
Do I need to roll to see if I... Oh gosh, I don't know.
Tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you if you roll for it afterwards.
I mean, I'm okay, so I'm still hesitant because I don't know, like, what with Merlin said, like, that there was no information about this creature and what they did here was very bad. So I don't know if my character would be torn because of that, or I kind of feel like they would. Just, I don't know if it's like a role that I would have to do to, like,
in
see
all
if
of
I
this
would
moment
just...
of hesitation, you feel this coldness reach into your hand and take it. Do you shake?
Yes. Fuck
Okay.
it, let's go.
That seems like a good plan to me. I think that we can be good friends together. I like you. Do. You seem like you know exactly what's right. You're loyal to your friends. You care about where you come from, your origins. There's a lot to be said for that. A lot of people forget their origins. A lot of people forget what came before in general. I know a lot about that. Maybe someday I'll fill you in on a little bit of a fun story, should we say. For now, what would you like to do with your friend, should we say? The one that's chasing you? Should I go and shoo him away? Lead him in a different direction?
Is that possible? I mean, we were marked.
Well, we're friends. Between you and me, I think we can achieve a lot. What do you say? What's on your mind? This mark? What's a wee mark between the two of us? Should I go and shoo the man away? Or should I remove the mark? I'll let you choose.
Would removing the mark hurt? Because I feel like that would be the better option in case this one falls to the wayside. There might be another to replace them. If the
Well,
mark is gone, then they can't track us.
I guess it depends on how long it's been there. Magical marks can leave a mark on a person's soul. Sometimes removing the mark means cutting a bit out, but it always heals back. The beauty of the soul is that it's infinite. You might cut some out, but it'll always come back. It's the beauty of a soul in general.
I don't want to hurt my friend without their consent. Like, if if you're
But-
able to convince them, then that's what I would like to do. I
You
can't
feel
make that
the
decision
arm-
for them.
You feel the arm around your shoulder, or you feel an arm come around your shoulder and you feel it sort of clasp you like a gentle firmness as you feel them whisper into your ear. But would it not be more painful for your friend to be stabbed through the heart while they lay dead on the floor? I think that perhaps we can forgive ourselves for removing a pesky little mark for the sake of a life saved. No?
Well, I really don't want to hurt my friend, though.
You wouldn't be hurting them at all. Give me an insight roll.
There's
Again-
a dirty 20.
Again, you have the feeling, this time a lot stronger than before, that, yeah, it's more of it's not an emphasis on hurting them. It's an emphasis on you wouldn't be hurting them.
No, I don't want my friend hurt. If we could just get them onto a different trail.
I understand. I'll go and shoo away our little birdie friend, should I? I look forward to speaking to you again. We're friends now. That's very exciting to me. Thank you so much, Ash. I've enjoyed this.
So
And you
wait, what
feel
do I call
yourself
you?
sink back into your place on the floor, and you're able to sleep again. You dream of home, you dream of trees, you dream of roosts and eggs and people. You dream of things going in a different direction than what the start of your nightmare was. But the feeling of this dark figure dissolves into the background, and you forget that they were ever there at all. Until the morning, of course.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no.
Ruby, you are dreaming of gratitude. You are dreaming of Leopold and of a past long outlived and outran. You are thinking of your patron and how grateful you are that they led you towards Leopold. And as you think of this gratitude, you feel that same feeling of a friend at your side. Hello again. Seems that things have been a bit fruitful for you. Cat got your tongue.
Oh, Ruby's having issues with the mic, it looks like.
Yeah. You're not really saying anything.
Yeah, I missed what you said completely. I cut.
Okay. Yeah, basically, seems like you've had a fruitful time. Yeah, more or less that.
I'm sorry, it cut out again, and all I heard was more or less that.
I think that
I am now sorted, I promise.
I think that you might have a problem, because I don't think any of us are having a problem. It might be that your Discord is fucking up.
Oh, no. If it's anyone else, it was me.
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Can you
so
disconnect
it's-
and reconnect and try again?
Yeah, I think I've sorted it. If you guys
Okay.
can hear me,
we can
I
hear you
can
now.
hear
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not-
think it's been you've not really spoken much during the session, but for the last hour you've been cutting in and out. So I think if it's fixed now, because we can all hear you clearly now, I think. Well, I can anyway.
So,
Then
sorry.
it might be
It's
fixed
not
now.
mine.
Yes, you get you have this feeling of gratitude towards your patron and of thankfulness that Leopold is now safe, and you get this feeling of a friend at your side again, saying, "Seems like you've had a fruitful time."
Yes, it's been better of late.
Sounds like a good start, hey? I rather enjoyed what you did with the ship, by the way.
I can take the entire credit for that one. I only had some help.
I understand completely. Friends are important, and good friends are hard to come by. That's probably why you're so grateful for me, correct?
That is true.
Well, this seems like the beginning of a very fruitful friendship, I must say. I've been speaking to a couple of your friends this evening. Seems like they're a little bit perturbed by our birdie friend. One of them seemed to come about the idea of removing a mark from somebody. What would you know about that? Are you talking? Because if you are, then you're not coming through. Hello, Ruby? Hello, Ruby? Hello, Ruby?
I just typed in the Discord that we can't hear her, so
Yeah. Ruby, 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 everywhere.
she's typing. She said sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I am here. I swear. Okay. My bad. Great. What are you actually wanting to do? What do you want to say? Yeah, just close Discord and start again. Because this is just not working. Let's not just futz with it and just restart the damn thing. There you go.
Yeah, I think she just did, yeah.
Yeah. Discord can really be a shit sometimes, so please everybody just bear with us, because Discord is really a shit sometimes.
Yeah, Discord can be trash at
It
times.
really is trash. Ruby,
Hello?
welcome back. Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
And you're cutting out again. Are you at a bad Wi-Fi location by any chance? Might it be that you need to get closer to the Wi-Fi?
Are you at my house?
Ruby's
What
really
if Ruby tries it
this.
from her phone?
I think that Ruby might lose a patron at this point. They're gonna just fucking fuck off because they can't be asked with this conversation dragging on. How's everybody doing? Everybody
Good.
finding this a suitably tense and creepy episode, same as always?
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to make my character suffer by suggesting to do something.
Well, I was waiting to see whether Ruby would respond to it, but we've not got the answer yet because we've been breaking in and out. Hello, are you able to talk? Can you hear us? Do you have signal? Is there a Wi-Fi nearby?
Oh, I don't know what I've done.
Okay. So you had the stranger said to you, it seems like one of your friends suggested that there might be something about removing a mark from somebody. What would you know about that? What would you say to that? Let's make it quick before you lose your fucking connection again, please.
Maybe Ruby can just type.
Yes, maybe just type, because I do not think that your Discord is working for you. There we go. We've disconnected from
just
Discord
left
again. We're gonna just cut this part short, I think, and we can deal with it in a bit. We'll have to move on because we've spent like 10 minutes just waiting for something to fix. That's clearly just not going to be fixed. Okay, so we get to the end of this long rest. Some of you feel rested. Two of you have had some kind of a conversation about this, and the others not so much of a conversation. Now we do have, of course, Ruby comes about from this sleep too, and the other two of you are still in the room with each other. Is there anything that you remark to each other as you come about from your meditation and sleep?
Well, I thought I think I made a new friend last night, but I think I made him in my sleep. They like frogs.
I think we might have the same friend.
They were asking questions, and they were offering stuff. I said we needed distance.
So I was debating getting Isabel's mark removed, but I didn't want to hurt her. So I instead had them throw them off the trail of us.
Oh. Well, I let them know, that it seemed like the guy had just been cleaning up. I mean, he was creepy, all right, but it seemed like
Yeah,
he
but
was
he was
just
also
cleaning.
absorbing their power.
Well, let him do it. What if he's just, I don't know, putting it away where it's supposed to go?
Into himself? He was repairing his armor.
Well,
That's
he
not
looked
good.
pretty dilapidated. Maybe he needed it.
Maybe he deserved it.
Maybe he didn't. We
Okay,
didn't
so
ask.
no, but you see somebody going around and just stabbing dead bodies and absorbing them into the sword and repairing themselves. That's not a good thing.
No, but I'm gonna go the other way.
That is not how nature does.
Well, maybe it is.
Not in
I mean,
nature I've
nature
seen.
reabsorbs everything when it dies and it goes back in the dirt. It absorbs all that energy. It's just done
But
a different way.
not instantaneously. That's unnatural.
Says who?
The
Spores
druid?
fly instantly.
The druid says so?
Victor, Briar, and Isabel, you start to feel your eyelids get heavy. You start to hear the hubbub of conversation in an eerie silence. You can definitely start to hear people talking inside. What do you think you would be doing in this moment? Are you just ready to go in and swap over?
Yeah, I think so, but I think I would definitely wait until someone relieved me of watch because I'm quite paranoid that someone's following us still. I don't know about everybody else, but I think I would wait until they came out and gave us the all clear, kind of.
I think I'm going to toss the torch ahead of me into the river cliff thing, Majiggy.
Into the water? Sure.
Yeah, just ahead of me, just away from the hut. And then make my way back to the house.
Sure. So I think that you're all ready to swap places. We have heard from Ruby that they just can't get Discord to work on Wi-Fi or data, so we're going to go with typed messages for now. But we will say that I think maybe Leopold, they would probably want to stay indoors, but they will come outside and help with the change of watch. There was some discussion between Aldrin and Ash about about what happened during the night. This might be the triumphant return of Ruby. We'll see whether you get a gold medal or a simple I was going to say a ruby, but you don't get a ruby, do you? The rest of you are heading inside. Is there any kind of exchange that you have as you cross paths with each other?
Yeah, Aldrin would want to give them the same kind of rundown,
Okay.
but kind of quick and quiet.
Yeah. You get a quick and dirty explanation of exactly what just happened in the dream sequences and meditations. I will reserve what Ruby says to the party because Ruby is muted and hasn't typed anything yet. So we don't know what Ruby would have opened up about with the whole patron deal. So the rest of you will get what you get from the other two.
Okay.
Are you here, B?
Yeah, I don't know how well you can hear me though.
We can hear you great now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ruby.
I guess I'm not sure if I have really anything to say because I couldn't get my response out. So.
Well, we could talk about it now. We're just about to change places with the like night watch, so we can just go back 5 minutes to before you woke up.
Yeah.
So you got that conversation
All I was
with
trying
the...
to do is For ease, Ruby would have said exactly what was going on. She wouldn't have tried to lie or anything like that.
Yeah. What? So, the stranger says, "So, what is it about the mark that everybody seems to have their knickers in a bunch about?"
I think because of the, well, unnatural nature of it and the suggestion of proximity of the holy man to the rest of the party.
Ah, so you think that this bird is able to track you by this mark? Is that it?
I think that's what the others believe. I can't say it's something I understand myself.
I understand. Which of your party is it?
It's Isabel. Oh, someone I'm meant to protect.
I understand.
Clearly not doing a very good job of it.
Well, friends look after each other, don't they? I'm here to look after you, after all, aren't I?
That's true.
I will make sure that Leopold does not feel any hurt while he's here. I will make sure
Thank you.
that your friends see just the same grace that I have given you, and I will try my best to not be just a fair weather friend. Seems like you're all in a little bit of a bother right now, and I'm here to try and help. Let's see what we can do together, shall we?
Thank you.
Good.
Let's.
So you wake up with the other two, and they have their discussion about, well, there was someone in my sleep who seems like a friend who likes frogs, and you are a part of that conversation. Is there anything that you would have added to that?
No. Probably not.
There you go.
Did
Someone's just
when I
exploded on the
said-
ground.
Ruby, did you hear whenever I said that I didn't want to hurt Isabel? Or did you hear that? Or were you still asleep?
Isabel would have been outside, wouldn't have heard the full conversation.
No, I wouldn't have heard.
But Ruby would have heard that. That
Yeah.
didn't want them to
Okay.
be hurt by it. Is there anything that Ruby adds to that conversation, though? Do you say anything to the others that they would have heard about that?
No, probably not. Would have just listened to the conversation rather than added.
Cool. So the three of you head outside. The three that are going inside now get their little exposition dump, and you all head back in. I am assuming that Ruby would like Leopold to stay inside as well.
Yes.
Okay. So now are you guys aiming for this to be a stealthy time? Are you going to be rolling stealth and trying to find where you want to hide best?
Yeah. Ruby would be doing that.
Or
Okay.
I don't
So
know how well
just
myself is.
position your characters exactly where you want them to be, and then give me your stealth rolls. That's the first one. We got a 21. We got another 21.
Hey.
And now we need rubies. Let's see, 3 21s. A 22.
Oh, you had to.
You had to beat them. You had to beat them by one, just to big up. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, 21, 21, and 22.
You've got to give me one win for the evening.
You've got to win. You've got to win. With the technical difficulties everyone's having it happening, yes, absolutely. So Ruby's taking the backside of the building, correct?
My
Yes,
friend and
Ruby's
Burial.
taking the backside.
So you're on the backside.
2 blackjacks and a bust.
Ash is over on the left. Aldrin's over on the right. Everybody give me a perception check, please. That's a 12, that's a 24, and that's a 15. Aldrin, you don't see anybody approaching from the right. Ash, you definitely don't see anyone approaching from the front. Ruby, you don't see anyone from the rear.
Cool.
What are the three people inside doing during their hour of downtime? You see that Leopold is just sort of milling about and trying to get some knots out of some old clothes, trying to make things seem a little bit better. What do you think that you three might be focused on during your hour of downtime from this long rest?
I think I would be kind of pacing around because Victor likes to know the answer to things, but there's a lot of things been happening that he doesn't understand. So I think in order to kind of like scratch that itch, he's probably going to have a look around the house and see if there are because like looking for hidden things and clues and such are what like make him feel like he's useful.
Yeah.
So because a lot of this stuff is kind of like out of his realm of expertise and such, because it's all like weird magic-y, religion-y stuff, and it's not really his thing. He's gonna start having a look round and like having a look at the floorboards and stuff, and just see if he can find anything like hidden inside the house that might, even if it's like a tiny win, and he finds like I don't know someone's like childhood diary or something, it would just make him feel better, I think, about everything that's been happening that's been really out of his control.
Give me an investigation check.
Could you give me an investigation check on my behalf, please?
I will give you an investigation check.
Thanks.
You get a 24 on that one. Cool. Okay, Victor, you do manage to find a small discarded doll. It's sort of it's raggedy. It's held together with fabrics, but it's mostly made of wood, like pouches of fabric with wood sewn inside of it, so that it forms the shapes and body parts and anatomy and all of that, so that it's sort of like a rag doll, but has some weight and heft to it. But yeah, you feel that. You find that there is also like little notes attached underneath that seem like they're just like little scrappy drawings by a child that have been like the kind of things that slip down a floorboard when you're trying to sweep everything up and you just lose it and you're like, well, I guess that's gone forever. You just notice that the rotting floorboards of this abandoned house, they feel like it's revealed these treasures lost to time, and you've managed to find them now. Some kind of reminder of earth and home and family and people and life and growth and innocence. Something that I think that you've probably been out of touch with for a while in all regards. Briar, anything that you're doing in particular for your hour?
Just kind of going through notes. I think she would have been going back a little bit ways. The conversation that I probably overheard, Ats and Aldrin having, or sorry, Ash and Aldrin having, didn't sound quite heated, but it did sound kind of like there was a difference of opinion, and that would have just like piqued my interest a little bit, to see what was going on, and then just kind of winding down, watches, intense. So Briar's just kind of ready to get some shut eye herself.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by what's it? Main dungeon chat. Just give me a very brief recount of what that was. I'm reading messages so I can try and keep on top of everything.
Just unwinding from being on watch duty, and then a little curious about the conversation that I overheard Aldrin and Ash having.
As part of that, do you think that...
But it did sound like a disagreement that would have just...
Yeah. Do you think that you would be discussing that kind of thing with the others in here, with Isabel and Victor? As it's weighing on your mind, is that the kind of thing that you would be open about, or do you think that Briar is more of a private person?
I think Briar's a little bit more private, but I think Victor would have been like the only other one that was kind of close, because Isabel was off a little bit of ways. I don't know if she overheard the conversation, but it also wasn't like a conversation that seemed like needed intervening. It was more of just like two viewpoints, and it was just more interesting, not something that like was...
Is it the kind of thing that you think that Briar would pray about? given that you are a cleric, you have some level of worship. Do you think that you would be praying in this moment, like trying to contact your deity? I'm not sure that you've prayed the whole adventure.
No, I haven't, I don't think.
How well do you think that your connection to your deity is holding up at the moment?
I don't really think that there is a connection so much as it's just I pray to the goddess Ear for guidance in healing, not so much of a, like, worshiping it as a god.
Yeah.
So much, and I might be looking for inspiration a little bit.
Okay. Give me a religion check.
Okay.
I think that a 5 reflects the fact that you've not been worshipping.
Yeah.
That this is supposed to be a it is kind of a transactional relationship, even though it is one of worship to a deity. It is sort of like you bring followers to my pantheon, you make people aware of who I am as a god and goddess, and in return, I grant you the magic that you use. And at the moment, it feels like it's sort of they're probably giving you the cold shoulder, that like you're taking, but you're not returning. Do you get what I mean? And I think that a 5 probably reflects that. That's the kind of feeling that you get, that maybe putting more time and focus into your relationship with this deity, and either finding a new transaction that you can make, or trying to strengthen that bond there, or repair bridges if it comes to it, that maybe that might be of use to you. And that's the kind of, I think, reflection that you find from this. And Isabel, is there anything in particular that you would be thinking about during your last hour before Betty buys?
Am I to assume that Isabel really is the only one out of the loop of some deity trying to remove my mark?
I don't think that you, Briar, or Victor heard any of that conversation unless it was brought up by Ash on the step outside.
I'm just gonna spend an hour trying to
Aldrin
focus.
gave a synopsis of the conversation
Yeah.
that Ash and they had.
So then, yes, you would know about that conversation.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep examining my the mark on me, because I'm really I'll take off my jacket and just have a big old examination of it.
Okay. You could give me let's see. You can give me either an Arcana or a Religion. I will let you choose.
Oh gosh,
I
both mine.
will
fine.
not say which.
I'm going to go for religion. And as well as it should be.
You've read a lot about religion, but the theories of religion and the theologies of religion very rarely relate practically to them in the actual use of medicine and examining these things. So I think that your book knowledge doesn't help with practical knowledge. I think that you are probably like concerned about this to the point that you're blocking out all wisdom to come, and you're just focusing on knowledge, and it doesn't really help. So yeah, I think that that's probably where we are with this. So you all lay down for your rests. You all go to sleep. Is there anything in particular that you are each dreaming of? Victor, what do you think that you would be dreaming of to begin with?
I don't. Again, I don't think Victor sleeps well enough to dream a lot. I think he again does the same kind of repetitive thing where he sleeps for a few hours,
Yeah,
and then
like fitful.
he will like kind of fitfully, like restlessly, like, because he has a lot of things on his mind, and and because of all of that, he's generally always been like that, where he's always like his brain doesn't really disengage for him to have a good night's sleep. So he will he'll kind of sleep, and then he'll get up and he'll kind of pace around the room for a minute to kind of try and calm himself, and like maybe beat himself up a little bit about how he's not managing to solve all of these problems that keep kind of landing at his feet. With like his kind of like logical thinking, and kind of like pace that frustration out by like walking backwards and forwards, and then maybe have a quick flick through his notebook, and then
Right.
like re-roll up his whatever he's using as a pillow, and just kind of like toss and turn a little bit
Yeah.
until he finally like is too exhausted to keep his eyes open.
Okay. And then, Briar, what do you think that you would be focusing on or dreaming about as you lay down to sleep?
I think having had that religion check that I just had, and realizing that I needed to reestablish a connection with Ear, I would have been thinking about that.
Okay. So you'd be dreaming about your deity, essentially.
Yeah, and how I can reconnect.
Cool.
And gain favor and stuff.
Great. And Isabel.
I would think because it's cold to the touch, my hand, my mark, right?
Yes.
I don't think it'd be dreadfully but just a vague dream of being in an icy place.
Mm-hmm.
And being cold.
Cold. Okay.
I just want to
nowhere in particular?
I'll let you have free reign of it. I just think cold would be the main factor.
Oh, that'll be the last mistake you ever make, letting me have full control of your dreams. Oh my god. All right, we'll take it.
Well, last time I described the dream, you
I'll twist what you tell me every way I can. But you give me an open book, then I'll just write whatever the fuck I want. Okay. All right. Well, foreshadowing then, I guess. Briar, you rest your head down and you feel like you're trying to build this connection with Ear again. Please give me a religion check. But before you do, tell me odds or evens. Odds.
Shall I roll now?
Yes.
You said religion, right?
Religion.
Oh.
And with a nat 1 religion check, giving you an overall total of 2, you slip into sleep. You feel your mind and heart and soul reach out for that deity which you dearly wish to connect to. You feel the need to open a connection to them and speak with them. And you feel your body lift from the floor and start to walk. And you can't really figure out why. You don't really know exactly which way you're walking, but you feel it nonetheless. You step out through the door. And instead of it being dark outside, it's bright now. The morning has come. But instead of it being rocks and dust and mud, it's now rolling hillsides. The dew on the grass, the fresh moisture that has graced you from the night's fog. And as you step out into this beautiful meadow, you do feel a powerful connection. As a dark figure next to you says, "Hello, Briar. I understand that you're trying to reach out to somebody. May I be of assistance?"
Who is this?
"I'm just a friend, if you'll have me."
I don't tend to make friends with people I don't know. I don't know who I'm speaking with.
You feel a cold arm go around your shoulder as they turn you around to face the direction you came from, and they point inside, and you see a lovely table laden with food, with 5 friends plus Leopold all sat around the table, all eating and laughing and making merry, and they say in your ear, "I disagree. I think that you're very capable of making friends. I think that you've made some strong ones right now. What's another one? You might as well, right?"
I might entertain it.
I like the idea of that. Well, friends like to give people gifts, don't they? I would never expect anything in return, of course, just from the generosity off my own back. But you call me friend, and I will do a favour for you, of course. Is there anything in particular that you have in mind? I heard some of your friends talking about a mark. I might be able to help with that. Might just make things a little bit simpler for you at the moment. What do you say?
Well, I don't know if I would ask for help with something that I don't have permission or I haven't spoken to the bearer of this mark.
I'm about to go and talk to them myself. What do you say? Should I go and speak on all of your behalf? It seems like a lot of you are concerned about this mark, and I'd hate for these wishes to go falling on deaf ears. I think perhaps you know the answer, don't you? That's why you're keeping to yourself. I also wonder precisely why you weren't being approached by Ear herself. I mean, we speak about
How?
falling on deaf ears. Perhaps Ear truly is the deaf one. Maybe I could be of more use to you. I would never make you choose between your deity and a new friend. I would be an addition. You would never have to choose. I would be okay with that. I don't play favourites myself, or I try not to. You understand how it is. A mother can only look at their children and feel that pang of guilt when they look at one and realise that they are, in fact, the favourite. I have my favourites. I'll never share who, but I know exactly what I want, and I'm not going to press it. The thing is, what I want right now is for you to be happy, and for you to feel safe. And I know that if a bird is chasing you down, stabbing at you in the dark, that's not going to make you safe. So what do you say? Should I have that conversation for you?
I wouldn't want anyone to have a conversation for me.
I like that. Oh, forthright. Strong. Brave, in fact. It's good to speak up about a friend and to a friend. It's even braver to speak out to a good friend, isn't it? And I feel like we're good friends. And that's just the relationship that we have right now. I can see us going far together. I'll let you rest up and persuade yourself, perhaps. Or maybe just hold it in, not speak about it. But I do think that perhaps my mutual friend that I've made tonight, and perhaps a few nights past too, maybe they might be helpful in this matter. We'll find out in time. How's that? I like you, Briar. I think that you've got a long way to go, and I can't wait to witness it. I will be here to watch it. You bet your bottom dollar. Thank you so, so much. And you feel yourself rest back down into sleep.
Maybe.
Isabel.
Is it finally my turn?
You feel cold.
Okay. Brr.
No matter what you do, you can't seem to get the heat back. You feel like you're trembling and shaking, like you can't get yourself warm. You like rub at your arms, you try and find a bearskin on the floor and roll over with it. You even try and go over to the bed frame, see if maybe that will help the wind from whistling in through the windows that have shattered here. You just can't seem to get warm.
I guess I tried to strike a match and it doesn't burn at all.
You strike a match, all right.
I tried to use it to get me warm. The little flame.
Okay. You strike the match, and the flame sort of startles your eyes in the darkness, and you don't quite, you feel like the light shifts just so rapidly from being pitch black, having to reach around and pad your pockets and your bag and everything, trying to find the tinderbox and strike this match and actually make it come true and, actually strike. And then you actually feel like, oh my god, it's struck. But what strikes you isn't the fact that it lights at all. What strikes you is the fact that there's no colour.
Oh boy.
You're in a grey and white and black surrounding area. And now that you start to reassess your surroundings, you're no longer in the shack at all.
It's cold. Cold and grey, not good combination.
You feel like you're outside. You can't quite tell with the match strike, and the moon is in a new moon. There's no way of seeing really from the light of it. What do you think is your priority? Trying to look around you or trying to move somewhere?
Trying to find somewhere I can get some shelter.
Okay.
To
You
brace
walk.
myself against the wind.
You walk and walk, and you feel your feet starting to soak through. The boots are getting wet in all of this sodden ground. It's all like, it's like the last fall of snow starting to melt into slush and seeping in through the seams in all of your leatherwork. And you feel it chill your toes and chill your heels and start to creep up your ankles as your feet go completely numb. Yet you march on forward, like the true barbarian that you are. Resolute, resistant. You are just a force of nature. And just like nature's force, nature also has its ways, its ley lines, its winds, its shifts, its seasons. And one of those shifts and seasons is the coming of winter, the coming of darkness, the coming of uncertainty. And that's what creeps upon you as you walk. You don't know which way you're going. You don't know what's in the darkness. You don't know if you could even find a match again to strike it, because that last one just went out. But then you start to realize that it's not that dark. And in fact, there's actually something about you that's starting to create some light.
Okay.
It's then that you hear the scrape against the ground. And a slow thunk. Thunk.
Oh god, dang it.
Thunk. And the glow starts to get brighter.
I try to run.
Which way do you run?
Away from whatever's doing that.
You run. The glow is still there. The glow bounces with your every step. You feel like it's shaking off all of the trees. You trip and fall a couple of times on roots, twisted and knotted, and yet that sound of the scraping, of the footsteps in the dark, continue and persist. And every time that you lose your breath and slow down, they catch up again. And you feel like whatever you're doing is like fire and ice. You are the fire and they are the ice. And there's nothing that you can do to outrun it.
I throw my axe.
Until You see
No matter.
another patch of darkness. A different darkness to the rest around you. And it reaches out a hand to you.
Oh god dang it.
Hello there. Seems like perhaps I could help you with this. What do you say? You hear the scraping approaching from behind you.
What the heck are you?
I'm what they call a friend. Seems like you've been marked in some way. I would remove that for you. It would sure make these experiences much less... oh, spicy.
Not the word I'd choose, but okay.
I have a way with my words. I do love adding a little bit of uncertainty in what I might say next. Look, I've been speaking to some of your friends. We have some mutual friends, in fact. I'm not sure if you know who, but I know them quite well by now. And I've been having some conversations with them tonight. You hear the scraping approaching even louder now. I think that perhaps you have this problem, this mark that you have, and they gesture towards your shoulder. I think that perhaps you know what needs to happen. We need to remove that mark. Otherwise, this little bad boy might come for you in the night. Might hurt your other friends. Might kill some of them. Imagine poor Leopold being buried in Ruby's heart one more time. That would be a harsh thing to do to a friend, now wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And
What's the
all
price?
for the fear. Oh, nothing much. It might hurt a little. But what's the price, really? It's this, or this person behind you gets to kill you. And as you turn around, you see that he's only 20 feet away from you now, walking slowly towards you, gaining every step.
Can I throw my axe at the walking figure just to buy a little time? I know it's probably not going to stop it. But be useful it.
Go for your axe.
I just give it a good throw. It's only a dream, right? So, chuck it.
Sure.
Do I have to roll anything?
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
I can't attack roll
How come?
because there's nothing to attack.
Oh, well, you don't use the target mechanic. Just click it. Just click the great axe. It will bring it up in the chat.
Hold on.
That whole target mechanic is really hit and miss. That's why we just don't bother with it. Like, I don't know why Briar has been targeted this whole fucking time. Briar's got the little target mark on their token. I don't know why that is.
Oh yes, that's now. Oh, you can see that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why.
Either.
Yeah, I don't know why. We don't need to be targeting each other. You're the only people in this map.
Well,
There's
I'm doing
nobody
it
else on the
really
map. Here, I'll just do it for you. Let me just roll it for
Thank
you.
you.
You got
Thank
a
you, thank you.
25. You got a 25. It does hit. And you do 5 damage. But the axe is now stuck in the shoulder of the holy man, and the holy man is still walking. The long, cold scrape of the sword dragging on the ground behind them. The cracks you can now start to see in the dark. The cracks in the beak. The cracks in the eyes. The cracks all the way down their body and their armor and their sword. And they get closer and closer until they're now only 15 feet away.
What do you mean by hurt? It will hurt me.
Well, the thing with things like this is, the longer you leave it, the more of your soul that it holds on to. Well, soul is an infinite thing. It's a well of infinite resources. That's why people want to buy them from you, because they're infinite power, aren't they? And, well, infinity doesn't really stack on top, but it's sure nice to have a lot of infinite batteries to sling around when you're in the afterlife, isn't it? Well, I would never do something like that. I would just remove the mark for you. But it would hurt because it would pinch. It would take a little piece of your soul out with it. The longer you leave this thing here, the more of your soul it'll take. And eventually, it'll take you over entirely. I
Can
might
I make an
suppose
insight?
that you might turn into this person yourself. Yeah, go for it.
Is that to tell if they're telling the truth or not?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, god dang it!
You are fully convinced that they are telling you the truth. You've never been more certain of anything in your life.
If I do this,
He's now 10 feet away from you.
you can't make me do anything that could hurt my friends or anyone I care about.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't dream of it. We are friends after all, aren't we? And they reach out a hand to you to shake.
Are you certain this will protect them?
Well, it will keep this bad boy from your door, won't it?
For good?
Well, it'll mean that he can't track you anymore. That seems like a big hurdle to me.
I wish I could discuss this with everybody else.
Well,
Fine. Never say our part of never been done anything chaotic.
I understand. Look, I would just like to say that I think that you've been very brave, and I think that this is the beginning of a very fruitful friendship between the two of us. I can't wait to see what you do with your time and your life, and I would never cut it short. I promise you that. But I'm
No one gets
afraid
hurt.
I do need to remove part of your soul now to get rid of this mark. And as I promised, this will probably hurt quite a lot.
I can deal with it.
We
Oh,
will
no.
resolve this shortly, but before that, we move on to Victor. Victor, you awake during the night. It's another fitful rest. It's another restless night. You can't really sleep properly, like you've said yourself. And you get up and you start to walk around and you examine your surroundings. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for on one of these fitful waking moments?
I think it's more, rather than he's looking for anything, I think it's more him just kind of running things over in his brain to see if he's missed anything, like any details that he might have missed that would be important to
I see,
the things that are happening to them, if that makes sense.
What kind of things are you sort of running through your mind in particular?
I think maybe stuff because his case is now kind of like non-existent because
the
he has
murders.
no lead of the murder. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that is a main one. Like, there's got to be like some other connection that he's not quite getting hold of in his brain. As to who killed Big Red and what these pirates had to do with it, and or these smugglers, and why somebody would be targeting her, and what he could have missed in terms of details of that.
Okay. Give me a history
then,
check. I'll tell you
sure,
what, I'll roll it for you, shall I?
Yep. Thank you.
You get an 11.
Okay.
As you're pacing up and down, you're trying not to creak the floorboards too much. You're not. It's one of those things where, like, we've all been there, I guess, when we've spent the night at somebody else's house, and you wake up in the night to try and use the toilet, let's say, and you don't know where the creaky floorboards are, and you don't want to wake the house up, and you feel awkward about it, and it might have been when you were a kid having a sleepover, and it might be when you're an adult and you're, having a sleepover. But whatever it is, you feel like you're trying not to... never you mind. You're trying not to awake the house. You're trying not to disturb anybody in their slumber. And that's what you're doing now. You're sort of... half of your mind is focused on the current events and the recent history, and half of your mind is focused on just not stepping on the cracks in the floor. Just trying to remember which floorboards are the quietest. And as a rogue, you're really good at that, but your mind focuses more on history than it does on floorboards. And as you find a creak in the floorboard, unfortunately, you quickly step off it, but as you step off it, you catch a glimpse of your surroundings, and nobody is around you. You're in the cabin alone.
Okay. I think I instantly suspect that there's something magical afoot, and that I don't panic, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like reach to see if my weapons are at my side, and look around because when weird stuff has happened at nighttime before,
Mm-hmm.
I have met somebody that I don't necessarily trust, and
Yeah.
that I probably at this point suspect that it might be something to do with that,
Okay.
or maybe even with the person following us.
You
So
start
I'm
to
trying to just kind of keep my shit together and
you
just
start to pat
slowly
your
reach in for my weapons.
yeah, you pat down your side, that instinctive move to put your hand to where your blade would normally be.
Mm.
And when you reach for it, it's not there. But then you look down because that's just the instinct, isn't it? Well, where is my sword? You need to look at it as well to prove to your brain that the sword actually isn't there. Because
Yep.
you know, we never trust our hands, we always trust our eyes. And as you look down, your eyes don't just see that your sword is missing, it realizes that your clothing has changed. You're dressed in some kind of a nightgown. You weren't in this before. You then look
No.
at your hand, and some of the vitiligo is cleared up. You realize that, in fact, some of the scars are missing. That's curious. And as you focus on your hand a little bit, you hear the laughter of a kid in the corner. You look up towards the corner and realize that you're no longer in the cabin at all. You're back at the orphanage.
Hmm.
The laughter is coming from a corner where a bunch of other kids are. It's bedtime story time. And the person who is telling them this story is this lovely noble that you know about. Or at least
Yes.
ex-noble. Used to be a noble. Kind of person that, you know, you liked being around because he helped you to learn how to read and write and that kind of thing. But there was something there that you felt that there was something in it. You know, there was something in it.
Yeah.
That there was something more to it than just them being there, because you felt like there was a kinship. You felt like there was something, you know, that you enjoyed about it. You know? Like, it's one thing to be read a story by somebody, it's another thing altogether to actually feel like they have some kind of link to you, some kind of, you know, connection, some kinship. And this person, who asked you all to call him Uncle Brendan, as you've gotten older, and you are an older kind of kid now, you're sort of towards your early teens, you've heard some of the staff saying his name in full, Mr. Diorfontaine, and you get to know this person a little bit better. You get to know that he is here at the orphanage to tell you stories. And in this moment of realization that you are stood here looking at your past, you're sort of seeing through the eyes of yourself, but you're seeing a different surrounding. You're seeing it from a perspective that you'd never seen before. And as you see this, you see that one of the kids stands up and turns around and looks towards the corner. You see yourself in front of them, facing this Uncle Brendan, who's telling you this story. And you see the silent padding of feet go past you, and the other you being too involved in the story, too involved in investigating what happens in the story, not involved enough on what's going on around you. Same as that creaking floorboard. And you see Arelli walk past you in the dark. This ghost you, if you like. Do you look towards yourself and Uncle Brendan, or do you watch and follow Arelli?
I think I might try to reach out and touch her arm.
She's already
to
walked
get her
past you.
attention. Right.
You'll need to run after her if you want to do that. She's already at the door. There's no creak in the door, but she's walked past it. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow her. Yeah.
You follow her out into the corridor. You've already lost sight of her. You see that there is just a little bit of a creak down the corridor. One of the doors is swinging open. Do you go towards the door?
Yes. I think I'm starting to pick my pace up a little bit though.
You start to sort of semi-run down the corridor. You hear the speech of Uncle Brendan echoing down the corridor behind you and disappearing as you go down this long orphanage hallway. And you turn towards this entrance. And as you step through, you see Aurelie stood talking to a corner.
Okay, I don't... Would I know if she, like, sleepwalked or anything like that in the night from our childhood?
You can do me a history check
from memory. Yeah, would you roll that for me, please?
I will.
Sorry to be a pain. Thank you.
You roll a 17. You think that she did have restless nights. That there would be days where she would be found by the staff of the orphanage in a different place than where she should have been.
Yeah.
And they always said that she had, these restless nights. And that was what she used to tell you.
Okay. But she never said why, I guess, when we were little, like who she spoke to or anything like that. Because I think I probably, Victor being Victor, would have asked who it was.
I think that in the early days, when
like
she
that.
was really young, she would have probably had, invisible friends, imaginary friends, the way that other people do.
Okay, I'm gonna, so as not to, like, scare her awake, because I think he probably saw maybe, like, one of the nurses or something like that, try to wake her up when she was sleepwalking previously, or maybe even he did it himself, and it resulted in her, like, having a bit of a meltdown, as it were, because you shouldn't really do that. I don't think. So yeah, I think he's gonna, having probably done that when they were younger and scared her and scared himself, he's gonna very cautiously approach without trying to wake her up and just kind of try and see who she's talking to and what she's saying.
Mm-hmm. You go to take a step forward, and you just remember, just at the last second, just a bit too late to be able to shift your walking pattern, just that kind of memory that you were searching for earlier in this evening, when you were trying to avoid that creaking floorboard, and your foot goes to press it. But instead of hitting it, you feel a cold hand push your hand over towards the left and miss it entirely. I think that you would like to have a friend occasionally, don't you? I think that maybe this might be the kind of exchange that you might want to see. I can make that happen for you, if you're friends with me.
Having tried to look previously, I don't think I'm going to try to look at them again, but I think in his kind of frustrations, I don't think Victor is, again, willing to trust anybody but, like, his trust. So he's going to kind of half bite in his lip, just look up as though he's kind of rolling his eyes, and he's like, respectfully, we've had this conversation before, and I'm not one to trust visions and dreams, nor magic that I do not know the nature of. So I think that,
would you like to know my nature?
Last time I tried to look upon you or ask you questions, I had a rather nasty headache on waking up, so I think...
Oh, well, that's just a part and parcel of trying to do something that you've not asked permission to do yet.
You did not ask permission to sneak around in my dreams, respectfully.
This is just the nicer way of speaking to you. Not sure that you would like to see me altogether. Plus, this way, I can work from home, should we say. I don't need to go traipsing around in the hills and the mountains, in abandoned shacks. I could easily make my way there, But I think that you've seen what I'm capable of, and the fact that you're still alive and breathing, you're probably also aware that my nature is not to dispose of people quite so quickly as you might think. I happen to think that you might be useful, not just to me, but to the world in general. I have a nice little, well, should we call it an amuse-bouche? Something that I think that might actually help the world. And I think that you're into that as well, you're not. Let us recount your trials right now. You're being chased by some kind of creature that wants to stab you and kill you and absorb all of your life essence. I think that's the intimation that your friends have given me tonight as I've spoken with each of them in turn. You're also, well, you're on the run not just from the dead, but from the living too, it seems. It's not going very good on your investigation, should we say. I think if you're investigating a murder and you end up being the chief suspect, it's probably gone the wrong way, isn't it? So perhaps we help each other. Maybe I can make those people who are looking for you forget that you exist. Or maybe I can help in other ways instead. If we're friends, I'll give you a favour. I won't ask anything in return. Not now.
But that would suggest that there will be something asked in return.
You would never
in
be
the
in my
future.
debt. No, of course not. We would be friends, and friends do not put each other in debt. You might lend somebody 5 gold one day and say, don't worry about it. You needed it. I can help you out because I'm a friend. And then when you're in need, perhaps they feel charitable. And it's not that they're beholden upon you, but maybe their conscience just can't help but stop them. I would be okay with such an exchange. And if ever you felt like perhaps you didn't want to do such a thing, well, that would be okay too. I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd be fine. What do you say? They reach out a hand to you. Or what you assume is a hand.
Yeah. Pardon me if I am being rude, but for now, I would like some time to figure this out for myself. Call
I
it a character
understand.
quirk.
I entirely understand. You're a person with your suspicions, and you like to make a measure of a person before you commit to them in any kind of friendship. I understand that. And I also understand how it's difficult to make friends with somebody when you're in your most vulnerable time, when you're in the darkness of your dreams. They're supposed to be a place of silent reverie. Well, this was perhaps an early gift of mine, giving you an insight into your past that you'd not seen before. I don't think that you would have seen this if not for me. Perhaps consider that, and think on the other things that I might be able to enlighten you with in the future. Should I return you back to your sleep now? I think that you've
I
got
would
more of a
very much
restless night.
appreciate that. And if you could perhaps refrain from walking my dreams in the future and maybe perhaps speak to me when I am awake, then I may be inclined to trust you a little more.
I think that perhaps you don't know what you're asking.
And
As you go
perhaps
to
when you refer to
respond,
yourself as a person, I
as
don't
you go
think
to
you are.
respond, you get cut short as you get woken up instantly by the sudden scream of Isabel in pain. As Isabel
Oh.
takes 12 necrotic damage.
Damn, I rush
Adeline,
straight over, I think, to check what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
oh, do I hurt myself?
Uh-oh. What
Oh, there
happened?
we go.
Isabella, are you okay?
Do I look okay?
I'm kind of like politely like patting her down to see if there's any wounds or anything's like kind of bitten her or I don't know, like something stabbed her or anything like that.
You all sort of start to realize that the daytime is coming, that it is now daylight, that people are coming about to, you know, a peaceful waking. Peaceful that is for nature. Peaceful that is for everybody but you. Aldrin, Ruby, and Ash, you hear this scream of agony wake Victor, Briar, and of course Isabel, as Isabel wakes with a start, and the rest are concerned. What does everybody do in this moment?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna run over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isabel, what's your first thought?
What's going on?
I'm just looking at my stats. My new health and HP is different.
Mm-hmm.
My max HP is different.
Uh-huh.
Guys, I've lost health permanently.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
What did that?
Yeah, I'm looking for any kind of physical marks of damage. I think. I'm like, may I?
Of course.
I don't think
Oh,
I'm in any mood to
it's up to
respond.
Isabel, really.
Yeah, I'm asking Isabel.
Yeah.
Before I kind of start like rolling sleeves up and stuff and looking
Rolling
for
in
like
the deep.
like I don't know, like a stab, like I say, a stab wound or a bite or
Mhm.
something like that.
I guess, well, I'm not going to reenact the screen, but I don't think I'm in any position to really give permission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Isabel looks visibly weaker, looks pale and clammy, seems to have lost a lot of energy and drive.
Can I do a medicine check on
Of
Isabel?
course.
Yes. Seeing this, I'm gonna like step back
Never
because
mind.
I know Ash and Briar are probably more
I think that with Ash
skilled in this.
Yeah, with Ash doing this medicine check, what you do is with that 11, you go to reach your hand just to do like a quick physical, and you forget about the shoulder, and your hand touches to the shoulder.
No,
and
I'm
you
so
feel
sorry.
that there is something different there now. Your hand doesn't
do I
feel the
feel?
same as it did the last time that you touched it.
What?
What does it feel like?
It still feels cold, but it's the texture.
Isabel, can you show me your shoulder, please?
You'll have to do it yourself. It's bad.
I'm gonna try to very gingerly, like, pull her, like, shirt back to try to look at it.
Oh, my jacket's already off.
As you do, you see that the skin has where the hand was there glowing before. You now see that it is a cold burn, and that there is ash falling from it to the ground, much like in your dream.
Oh no!
And yes, Isabel has permanently lost 2d6 necrotic damage, which just so happened to roll out to be 12. You got max damage.
Damn it.
Briar, do you want to come and look at this?
I'll walk
'Cause-
over and take a look. Should
Mhm.
I roll medicine check?
It will be the last roll of the session. So let's see if we can make it a good one.
Well, it's much better than
16.
mine.
For a 16, Briar, give me a religion check as well.
Okay.
16 as well.
16 all
is-
over.
Oh, double
What you're
16s.
seeing
Oh.
here is something that, yes, it is manifesting itself in the flesh, but no, it is not of the flesh. There is something here which has been removed, excised, and forcibly.
Interesting.
Do you share your findings with the rest of the class?
Yeah, I'll be looking at it and I'll just kind of interesting. And then I will share with the rest of everyone and Isabel as well. And tell everyone not to worry, that we'll figure it out. But this does not look like it was created that it looks like it was created by something like otherworldly and is not of
The few of you
Isabel's
who had those
own.
conversations with the stranger, you remember your mind sort of go back to a piece of the soul will need to be removed too. And with that, we will end our session.
Oh my god.
Thank you, everybody. I was hoping that would be only part of the session, but we all got so deep into the weeds with those dream sequences that it ended up being the whole session. So that was great. There was so much like, I'm going to hide outside over here with a torch. And I'm like, I mean, you can, but that's not really the point of this session. Like, oh my god, how am I going to stop them talking about the stealth?
I just love how everybody's like, I'm not going to hurt her without consent. I'm not going to hurt her without consent. And I'm like, fuck it, go!
Yeah, do it! Because you had this fucking guy chasing behind you. When you wake up, though, you do have your axe by your side. It is no longer in somebody. But there is also there's also like a red feather stuck to it. I'm curious about Isabel's reaction to Victor's dream sequence there.
How do you mean?
I wonder whether you picked up on one thing.
I guess that's a no.
That might be a no.
I was just hearing. I thought she was just talking about like a childhood memory. I wasn't thinking about that.
Oh, I'm wondering whether you might have picked up on it, and apparently you didn't. So that'll be interesting to find out if it shakes out later. I hope everybody's enjoyed that. How did everybody find that session?
You know, my character was like, fuck it. They made the guards disappear, so why not?
Right?
Do we know
Odin's
that
kind
yet?
of like,
We
oh,
know
you
that they
ain't
made the
done nothing
guards
wrong
go.
to me. You've only helped me so far. I mean, it's been some kind of like odd choices, but at the same time, like, you haven't hurt me. And Aldrin's kind of coming from this perspective of, you know, like, I'm not gonna judge people before I know them, and I don't know this person, so sure, we can be friends until you do something wrong.
So, Victor's like the guilty until proven innocent. You're like innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the way around that I would put it for Victor, yeah. Definitely the way around I'll put it.
Was Isabel in my dream? Is that... Or was it like out of character? Did Isabel know anything? Sorry.
We can talk about it if you want to talk about it.
Yeah,
being that we won't metagame
I just didn't
this.
know whether you like Isabel, like
Isabel. What is Isabel's surname?
Worked anything out.
What's Isabel's surname? Isabel.
I can't remember. I know it's something with long and fancy.
Diorfontaine.
Is it the same name as the surname Noble then?
Okay, so that's not a thing that Victor would know. That's all I was checking, like whether I'd have noticed her in my dream or not. Like
Isabel's dad.
Obviously, be something. Yeah. Okay.
Isabel's dad.
Again,
in the orphanage, reading stories to everybody.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't know that.
And people think that I don't know. Yeah. Reading stories, story time, books. Yep. Well, I wonder where Isabel gets it from.
Maybe Isabel can help Ruby. Out of character.
What do you mean?
Well, your dad used to read stories, and Ruby's having issues with reading things. So.
Oh, I was helping out at one point.
Yeah, I think they've already had reading lessons. Lessons with.
I read like a book.
Had like
I read
a whole
book
week.
that totally read that book, and it didn't raise like the suspicions of Victor in particular.
No, Victor was
everything's
saying.
fine.
Victor said afterwards, "I did wonder why the fuck you were getting a book on charisma."
Oh yeah, and no one's suspicious at all that it's now like dueling into warlock. Like everyone's fine with that, especially because Ruby's refusing to say anything on it, so it's all fine.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen you cast any spells though yet.
You did the whole telepathy thing from the bushes.
I did talk to Aldrin.
Yeah, spoke to Aldrin in their head, and Aldrin didn't bat an eye. That this monk can apparently speak telepathically.
Victor doesn't know anything.
Not an eyelash. Because Aldrin doesn't know what kind of powers people could have.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I'm not
There's
down
all
Yeah.
to
kind
do
of people in
iconic.
the world. They could all be capable of doing all kind of things. And we've been talking about dream walking and talking and
Yeah.
all these sort of different things going on already. So it's sort of kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I just met this person. Maybe they've been able to talk to people in their heads for their whole life, for all I know.
I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if I can still get HP when I level up.
We will find
I
out
mean-
what you can get in time, I think.
Oh no.
Just bear in mind, you still have more HP than me, so you are
Yeah.
fine because you're a barbarian and can rage and can take half damage per turn.
Oh my
It's
god, do I
fine.
have the most HP in the group now as a rogue?
What's yours?
43.
40.
Yes, you've got more than me.
We got 46 on Ash. 46 on Ash.
Okay, okay.
52 on
Briar,
Briar.
50 something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
52.
50 and now 38.
Yeah, but you still weren't the top. You still weren't the top. Yeah, I've put your
You've gotta be
modifier
on
as
my
minus
level.
12 on your character sheet. Your HP modifier sits at minus 12, and we'll see how
I
it
feel
comes
like
back
a
over
squishy
time.
potato at 37.
Yeah,
I'm the squishiest potato at 33.
yeah,
Oh, my dear.
That's mashed potato.
We need to
yeah,
get you some
yeah. It
armor.
is.
But
Yeah.
monks, but monks
Potato,
work better
yeah.
with armor. Like, barbarians work better with armor.
Uh-oh. We need to get
It's
you a
fine.
bubble like Bubble Boy, but stronger.
Bubble Boy was a ridiculous movie, is all I'm gonna say.
Wasn't it?
By the way,
Oh.
is anyone going to be taking the cloak of
So funny,
coziness?
though.
I feel like Isabel needs some coziness.
Yeah, this feels very appropriate to pass it
Yeah.
to Isabel beginning a next
So
session.
it's you use a bonus action, and it means that your next turn you miss an action, but you end up getting the effects of a short rest out of it
Yeah,
in a single
Isabel
turn.
could use that.
So that means that
Yeah.
you can roll your hit die and get some health back mid-combat, basically.
Definitely for Isabel.
I'm already
Also,
wearing
do
a
you
cloak.
regain
Also,
I mean-
Ruby.
I mean,
not
sure.
wearing a
Isabel?
cloak.
Do you regain any rages on a short rest?
I don't.
I
think
don't
you
believe you do, no.
I think mine's a lost rest. I think
Okay.
it's a long rest.
Yeah, they are long rests.
Okay, okay.
All right. Well, I think that that's the end of our session. I hope that that was suitably creepy for everybody. I've not done a creepy session for a while now, and I felt like it was overdue.
It was definitely creepy. You hit the mark on that.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice. I really tried to make Isabel and Victor's dream sequences really fucked up. And I hope that you
Yeah.
all liked that.
I mean, Victor didn't necessarily.
No,
he's,
well,
he's
Victor didn't.
growing increasingly impatient with everyone's bullshit. Is where Victor's at. He's just like, all this magic shit. Like, I'm fed up with these people being weird. Like,
I'm fed up with people, weird people.
That's completely fair. Yeah. Why does everybody have to be so fucking weird all the fucking time? Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
It's literally that.
Well, we're all from like the boonies or nobility, so you're guaranteed to be weird from there.
Mm.
Yeah, fair.
Legit.
Just a little orc boy who wants to like use his magnifying glass. Doesn't care for all
Yeah.
this magic
And
nonsense.
Aldrin just wants to play with
Victor
frogs
Holmes. Yeah.
and make
I just-
poisons.
Ruby just wants to punch a rock now and again.
I know, right? You've punched many rocks, though, to be fair.
I
You
did
have
rocks.
punched a lot of
I
rocks.
have.
You
I've
started your
also
first
done
session doing it.
lots of flips.
You did a lot of
lots of
flips.
flips.
You did a backflip at the start of this session.
Well, when you say roll whatever you want, I will. If I don't think Ruby would do a normal
To be
roll, she'll do a
fair,
backflip.
To be fair, I gave you a choice between two things, and then you chose to do. I said
I
nature.
took
I said
secret third
animal
answer.
handling. I said animal handling or medicine. Roll one, and you like decide which. And you did a fucking acrobatics check. That was not one of the two choices. So don't come at
No,
me
no,
with
you
roll
gave
whatever you
me-
like.
You gave
fuck.
me the secret third option of, well, Ruby wouldn't do a medicine or animal handling check. She'd just be like, fuck that, do a
Fucking-
flip.
Swear to God. Ruby, with all this fucking secrecy and backflips, I never know what I'm gonna do with you.
That's
You are a
very
true
unwise
cat.
rip-off.
I think that if you had a friend on
Yeah.
a table next to you, you'd push the friend off the table.
Wow!
True
I
cat
let Leah
energy.
fall drink a
Very
fresh
cat-like.
drink.
True cat energy. Yeah, yeah. Chaos reigns with Ruby.
Hey.
Yeah.
You
Well,
get the
there we go.
Zoomies at 3.
Thank you, everybody, for such a brilliant session. I have tears in my eyes with how brilliant that was. It
Super
was so
fun.
fucking great. I loved creeping all of you out again. It's felt like a return to type for me. I need to make more creepy sessions, I think.
Seconded.
There we go. So, that's going to be the end of our session. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being you. And
Thank you
I'm
for the
so
fun.
sorry for all of
Thank
the
you.
technical issues.
No,
I truly hope
yeah.
that you get your internet back and that your Discord can unfuck itself and that everybody can have a lovely time with technology, but who's to say? In the meantime, though,
unfuck yourself.
please be good to yourselves. If you can't do that, then at least have fun. And I will be here on Monday, not just for Critters, but for a subathon. It's going to start midday, my time, 12 p.m. midday, my time. That is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it will be going for minimum 12 hours, with Critters being just 2-hour part of that at its usual time. It will be my 4-year affiliate anniversary to celebrate being an affiliate for 4 years, of course. And I would have done it the week after that, but that is my first week back at university, and I do not want to go in on my first day, the day after the subathon, having been awake for 24 hours and not know what my name is. So we're going to do it this Monday instead, and it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of chaos, and there's lots of forfeits and lots of games and lots of fun, and everybody can come and have a fucking good time.
Let's do it.
But thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you on Monday. And if not before, then either way, just have a great time. Thank you all for being here. Love you.
you.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.
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 Bye. See you next